Welcome back to DJ's Corner, Just My Opinion. I am your host, DJ, and if you're just tuning in, we're diving deep into the twisted yet fascinating world of Venom. In the last segment, we explored Venom's origins and how the symbolic bond between Eddie Brock and the alien symbiote that was born out of rejection and shared a vendetta against Spider-Man. But now, let's get into the meat of what really makes Venom tick, the motivation and his goals. Alright, so when most people think of Venom, they picture this brutal, relentless force that's hell-bent on destroying Spider-Man. And yeah, that was definitely true in the early days. Eddie Brock and the symbiote was driven by their mutual hatred for the web slinger. And that hatred was like rocket fuel for Venom's rage. But here's the thing. Venom's motivations aren't just about tearing down Spider-Man. As the character evolved, so did his goals. And that's where things get very interesting. Let's start with Venom Lethal Protector, Issue 1. Which was a turning point in Venom's journey. Published in 1993, this is Venom's first solo series, written by David McLean with artwork done by Mark Bagley. This issue marks the moment when Venom begins to transition from a Spider-Man villain to a complex antihero. The story kicks off with Eddie Brock, now fully embracing the symbiote, moving to San Fran to escape the constant battles in New York. Venom decides to live by a new code to protect the innocent rather than merely just seeking revenge on Spider-Man. But of course, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Venom's past actions come back to haunt him when a group of mercenaries led by Roland Trice, a corrupt businessman with ties to the Life Foundation, targets him. Venom's heroic intentions are put to the test when he encounters a group of homeless people living in the underground tunnels of San Francisco. He learns that these individuals are threatened by Trice's plans to develop the land for his own gain. Despite his violent methods, Venom becomes their protector, battling Trice's men and defending the homeless community. This issue sets up a clash between Venom's desire to protect his new friends and Spider-Man's lingering distrust when the web slinger follows him to San Francisco. It perfectly captures Venom's complexity as a character, a lethal protector, torn between his darker instincts and his newfound sense of responsibility. In another key storyline, Maximum Carnage, we see Venom's goals evolve even further. This 14-part crossover event ran through multiple Marvel titles in 1993 and primarily involved Spider-Man and his allies battling the deadly and psychotic villain known as Carnage. Cletus Cassidy, aka Carnage, is a more dangerous version of Venom, a symbiote-infused killer who thrives on chaos and destruction. When Carnage escapes from Ravencroft Institute, he forms a twisted family of villains, including Shriek, Demi-Goblin, and Chiron, and they go on a violent rampage across New York City. Venom's motivations in Maximum Carnage are deeply personal. Not only does he have a vendetta against Carnage, but he also wants to prevent the kind of chaos and destruction that Carnage embodies. This storyline is crucial because it showcased the moral dilemma faced by Venom and other heroes. When Spider-Man believes in capturing the villains without lethal force, Venom is all for taking them out permanently to end the threat. This clash between ideologies highlights Venom's unique code of justice, one that is willing to go to extremes to protect the innocent. The climax of Maximum Carnage brings this conflict to a head, with a massive showdown between Carnage Group and the heroes. Despite their differences, Spider-Man and Venom must work together, and this partnership is flawed with tension. Ultimately, Spider-Man and his allies, including Venom, managed to capture Carnage, but without a significant moral and physical cost. Venom's role in this storyline solidifies him as a character who is willing to blur the lines between hero and villain, driven by his own code of ethics and his desire to protect those he cares about. Another crucial evolution in Venom's motivations comes in the Amazing Spider-Man issue 654, which includes Flash Thompson as Agent Venom. Flash Thompson, a longtime friend of Peter Parker and former high school bully, faces his own set of challenges as a double amputee veteran. Despite his hardships, Flash's dedication to his country leads him to volunteer for a government program that uses the Venom symbiote for special missions. Flash bonds with the symbiote, becoming Agent Venom, a government-sanctioned operative with a strict 48-hour limit on using the symbiote to prevent it taking over his mind. As Agent Venom, Flash is tasked with missions like retrieving advanced technology, utilizing his military training alongside his symbiotic powers. But even as a hero, Flash struggled to maintain control over the symbiote's violent impulses, highlighting the ongoing battle between good intentions and the symbiote's darker nature. This issue sets up the duality of Flash Thompson as Agent Venom, a hero trying to use this dangerous power for good while battling his own demons. It's a fresh take on Venom's character, shifting the narrative from Spider-Man's adversary to a complex anti-hero with a personal mission of redemption and service. Ultimately, Venom's goals are rooted in his own desire to find purpose, whether he's protecting the streets of San Francisco, or teaming up with heroes to take down Carnage, or even fighting alongside the Avengers as Agent Venom. His journey is one of redemption. He's constantly battling against his darker impulses, trying to prove to himself and the world that he can be more than just a villain. It's this struggle that makes Venom such a compelling character. He's not perfect. He's messy. He's always on the edge of losing control. But that's what makes him relatable. Venom is an anti-hero who's not afraid to cross the line if it means doing what he believes is right. Thanks for tuning in to this segment of DJ's Corner, Just My Opinion. Up next, we will be exploring the complexity and the sympathetic traits that make Venom such a fan favorite. So stick around, like, subscribe, and hit that bell button so you don't miss out. And remember, even our darkest characters have their own code of honor. Catch you in the next segment. So while Venom may have started as a villain driven by vengeance, his journey has transformed him into one of Marvel's most complex anti-heroes. He's not out to be the good guy, but he's not content with just being a bad guy either. Venom's story is about finding balance, about navigating the gray areas between right and wrong, and that's what makes him a character worth rooting for.